Hey everyone, it is Saturday, January 13th. The time is 4:45 p.m. and the temperature is around -2 degrees Celsius.
Mad is bad. Mad is bad.
And I'm here in front of the Eaton Center, and this is the intersection of Yonge and Dundas. And this is normally a rather lively street corner, but the usual busking and preaching suspects seem to be in short supply. And there's a look over at Dundas Square. You might be sick of seeing that if you've been watching a lot of this channel lately. I'm here a bit later than I intended. I was held up by the TTC for about 30 minutes due to multiple delays. And this is east on Dundas Street East. And for this one, I'll be doing just that, heading east along Dundas over the east side of downtown. And I'll finish up around Broadview. One last look towards Yonge and Dundas. I think this walk will be around 3 kilometers. Looks like there's a traffic stop just on the left here. So it's -2, but the wind has died down, so it doesn't feel that cold. So this walk will take us over the east side of downtown. This neighborhood is the Garden District. Just to the north here on Victoria Street is Toronto Metropolitan University, formerly known as Ryerson.
We did show right on Dundas because Andrew's going to be.
There's a look south down Victoria Street. And last night we had a pretty decent sized snowfall in the city. But after the snow, there was a lot of rain, and I think that melted away a lot of the snow. But you never really seem to have too much snow accumulating downtown, I think. It's a few degrees warmer here than Midtown. And there is the Imperial Pub. That has been there for over 78 years. If you do visit, I recommend the library floor. That's on the second floor. But it might not be there much longer. There's a redevelopment proposal for that entire block. So Mayday Burger, Captain Vape, the Music Shop, and the Burrito Boys might all be going away. There's been a very large number of condos going up along this corridor. And this will also take us along what some might consider one of the sketchiest parts of downtown, around Sherbourne and Dundas. Ramen restaurant's been there for quite a while. It's usually quite popular. After I record this video, I'll be heading to the Beer Bistro on King Street West. I think I'm going to take the bus back up to Broadview Station and then just subway down. This is Church Street. There's a 505 Dundas streetcar. That'll be going all the way to Dundas West Station. And normally it would terminate to the east at Broadview Station. But they're not running streetcars on Broadview. So you have to switch to a replacement bus. And if you went on Google Street View and turn the time back to 2014, most of these condos you see would not exist. This intersection coming up at Jarvis is one of the ones that has changed the most in the city. We are experiencing some light snow flurries at the moment. It's kind of surprising that that's still a parking lot on that corner. The other three corners have been redeveloped. There used to be a Hilton Garden Inn on the northeast corner over there. And this corner used to have a small supermarket. Used to be a Holy Chow Chinese takeout restaurant and some other retail straight across the street as we get to Jarvis Street. Now the wind is picking up. It is starting to feel a lot chillier than when I first emerged onto street level. And Dundas Street is kind of interesting. It curves and winds its way along across the city. And at one point it even runs north of Bloor Street. That starts through the Junction neighborhood. And then in Etobicoke it dips back south of Bloor. And the reason for that is Bloor was never, or rather Dundas was never designed as one continuous street. More on that later as I get interrupted by Fillmore's Hotel and Gentlemen's Club. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Come unwrap our girls. Well, not for too much longer. There's a redevelopment notice on that property. And I'll look back to the west. So Dundas is actually a series of 15 prior streets strung together. If you look at Google Maps from above, you'll notice streets like King and Queen are pretty much ruler straight, as they were designed with the street grid in mind, whereas Dundas is a lot more makeshift. In fact, the Dundas Bridge I'll be crossing when I exit downtown used to be the Wilton Street Bridge. There's plans for a 49-story building on this lot. This is Pembroke Street. And you'll notice the character of the street has changed drastically. As I mentioned, some might consider this one of the sketchier stretches of downtown coming up. Here's where the True Love Cafe used to be. It's been vacant for quite a while. Hakka Chinese. Used to be a Pakistani and South Asian restaurant called King Palace or King Place. There's where it used to be. That has relocated just west of here. I actually walked by it earlier. Probably should have pointed that out. This is Sherbourne. There is All Saints Church Community Center. That's a seniors building across the street, and they had to apply for special permission to build that gate around the perimeter of the property, as apparently there was too much loitering going on. And they're always handing out food and water to those in need in front of this church. It's a community outreach center of sorts. I think they do a lot of good work. But it also attracts a crowd that I think leads to the reputation of this neighborhood, along with the need to fence that off over there. But for the record, I've never had any issues with anyone walking through here. It's mostly just people trying to get by. We have left the Garden District. I believe you could refer to this as South Cabbagetown. Cabbagetown is known for having the largest collection of continuous Victorian homes in North America. And we're going to see some in a moment that date back to the 1860s. You'll notice things are much quieter now. And this is Ontario Street. There's some more older homes. These all have heritage status in the city. And coming up is Parliament Street, and once I cross Parliament, we'll be in Regent Park. That's undergoing a massive redevelopment. I believe it's in phase 4 of 4 now. Rent an e-bike for $99 a month, maintenance and service included. Wonder if you have to buy an insurance policy on it. What happens if it disappears? And this is Parliament Street coming up. There is Toronto Council Fire Native Cultural Center. That's a cultural agency that serves the local Indigenous community. It's a neat looking sky. I should have done this walk from east to west. Oh well. And just north of here, north of Gerrard, is the main retail stretch of Cabbagetown. And we have entered Regent Park. Which used to prominently feature a lot of low-rise, rather ugly brown brick apartments. Regent Park was built in 1949 and it became Canada's first public housing project to support the working poor. It's being redeveloped in 4 phases. And the existing residents were rehoused and then moved back into newer properties. That's now more of a mixed income community. You have market rate condos mixed in with the subsidized ones. And although the newer units are smaller than the older ones, they're also far nicer. So from what I've heard, there's not much to complain about for the people that got upgraded into a shiny new unit. And this walk should be taking me past one of the few downtown Wendy's locations. This is Sackville Street. There you can see some of those older apartments I alluded to, those will be coming down in the next phase of redevelopment. And Regent Park itself is coming up on the left. I have yet to take any of my two-wheel devices out for a spin this winter. There's Regent Park itself. There's an aquatic center that was completed as phase 1 of the redevelopment back in 2009. So that 505 is going to Kingston Road. I guess it's diverting south on Broadview to Queen. Then over to Kingston Road where there's a turnaround loop. That on the right is a Shoppers Drug Mart. That is owned by a company that has come under even more fire lately. They used to have a policy in their supermarkets, Loblaws and other brands, where soon-to-be expired food was reduced to 50% or up to 50%. And for some people, it was their only affordable way to buy meat. There's that Wendy's I talked about, but Loblaws announced for quote-unquote consistency reasons they are shifting to a 30% discount. Why they have to be consistent with discounting food before it goes bad is beyond me. I don't see how that benefits the consumer at all. But everything that company does is to positively impact their bottom line. So that's all that is, but it's been all over the news lately. I personally try to avoid shopping at any of their affiliated companies. So this is what a new downtown neighborhood feels like. Looks quite nice and modern. But it still lacks the character of the older neighborhoods. Croissanterie. There's athletic playing fields just south of here. This is River Street, the last north-south street, or major north-south street downtown, if you don't include Bayview, which I'll be walking over top. I guess the last connected major north-south street. It's a bit of a stretch. All right, let's make this light. And River Street features a bike lane. And you'll notice this stretch of Dundas has a nice wide bike lane. Speaking of which, I think this Lexus dealership on the left has been under fire. They're having their delivery vans or trucks just straight up park in the bike lanes. Here in the market for a luxury vehicle. This might be the spot. There's a Mercedes and AMG dealership just on the right. A large Lexus on the left. On the other side of the Don River, there's one that carries a lot of prestige brands. There it is, Land Rover, Jaguar, Lamborghini, Bugatti, Aston Martin. There's a look at Bayview Avenue. And one last look to the west from downtown as I'm about to cross the Don River on what was the Wilton Street Bridge. This crossing is about 120 meters long. And there's the Don River that divides downtown from the Riverdale neighborhood. And the Don Valley Parkway is moving well tonight. All right, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lambo, Aston Martin, Bugatti, Rolls-Royce, and Bentley. Dundas and Spadina behind me to the west is the main intersection of Chinatown. But at Broadview and Dundas, I guess it's a little bit south of it, but would be the very south end of East Chinatown. This part of South Riverdale is known as the Riverside District. And where did all the snow go? There goes a northbound bus. There's a westbound streetcar. That one probably turned down from Gerrard Street. Oh no, I just missed a second bus. Which means I might be in store for a 10-minute or so wait. So this stretch here was originally not Dundas Street. I believe this was Wilton Street. And it extends all the way to Kingston Road. In fact, there's even some former laneways that are now part of Dundas Street. And they have garages that directly back onto the street. This is Broadview and Dundas. I would very much like to catch the next bus, but I don't see one coming. So we're heading north. Wow, what a stupidly dangerous move by that pickup truck. Now we're heading north. Oh, do I see a bus? I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me. I'm heading north up towards the next stop because why not? It's usually easy to identify a bus from the distance. There's one coming in the other direction. They've got blue lights on the top corners of the front of the bus. Oh, that wind is strong. There's the new Hughes room. It used to be located over on the west end. It's a music performance venue. No blue lights in sight. To Gerrard Street it is. Completo empanadas. Walk and roast Chinese barbecue. Check this out. Yep, no other bus coming. Text 1757. $17.57. Let's see what it says. Three and 6 minutes. In case you don't believe me. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this one. Starting at Yonge Dundas, walking about 3 kilometers east along Dundas Street, across downtown to Broadview Avenue, where just north of here, you can take in a spectacular view of the city skyline from Riverdale Park. And let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below if you wish to say thanks that way. That should be making its way. I think I see blue lights off in the distance. So I'm going to put my gear away. Hopefully my nose isn't running. I think I felt that it was as people reverse and inspect the video. But anyways, thank you for watching. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.